Well, hello, this is Peter Combs from Bidamount.com and PL Combs Asian Art, and today is Friday, April 13th, 2018. And as always, we'll take a look back at last week's eBay auction results. There were some good results last week. Some things did very well. And a look ahead at what's coming up. Before we get started, though, I wanted to just quickly point out a couple of things this week. Yesterday, we posted a video and a blog about Rob Michael's auction that's coming up on April 28th and 29th over in Belgium. It's a very nice sale. We did a video. We featured a number of the items. There are 1,190 lots in this sale. It's a two-day auction. It's online, easy to register for, and all that sort of things. And some really nice pieces, as you can see. We posted just a few of the examples that are in the sale in the blog, and you can go to his site, of course, and look at more items. Some great stuff. So I urge you, if you're a buyer, especially of late Ming and early Qing stuff, check this sale out. There's also some Japanese things, some Tonkas and other stuff. So check out the sale. It's a good auction. And we also did a video early this week on the Sotheby's auction results from Hong Kong a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. Went through some of the highlights of the sale. Not everything sold. They had some buy-in issues, about 30% to almost 50% in one sale. So it may have just been a fluke, who knows, but check that out. And now on to eBay. This was one of the lots, I think, that was a particularly good buy for the week. It was a very nice small jade of a boy, nice 19th century carving, very good quality jade, well done, nicely polished, good facial expression on the kid smiling. You can see the details around his eyes and mouth. And this went pretty reasonably, $787. That was a perfectly reasonable price for that. Nice little jade, and good color. Notice the color. Always look at the color. And onto this was a brush pot that Bay Plus had up. He had listed this as 19th century. It's not. It's an 18th century brush pot in Femme Vert, and but nice, very nice quality all the way around. Here's another shot of it. Those nice green enamels, nicely shaded in the red areas here, and it brought over $2,000, $2,005 for this brush pot. So when you see the dates on these, always do your own homework and see if you agree with them or not, high or low. But that was a nice pot. Did just great. And then there was this bronze. This was a very nice bronze. It was shiny because you can tell by the residue of the pot. You can see polish residue all over this thing. Somebody has polished this thing pretty religiously for quite some time, and the polish builds up and leaves this green residue tucked into the cracks. Here's another one. You can clean it out with a toothbrush. I'm always surprised people don't bother to do that. A little warm water and a toothbrush will take care of a lot of that. And but this was a very nice late Ming, early Qing, probably early Qing. I'm inclined for that more than Ming. It's kind of compressed in form and so forth. Probably late 17th, early 18th century. And it did very well. It brought $5,550. Okay, nice pot, a nice little piece. And then there was this reticulated, probably Yongshen, maybe early Qianlong cup. These are fairly rare. This style of cup doing these reticulated walls where we'll turn it sideways. There it is. You can see there's an inner cup. They started making these, pretty popular in the Ming Dynasty, and this underglazed blue inner cup is there. It had a few chips to the enamels and a couple of minor condition issues, but I thought it went pretty reasonably. $227 for a fairly rare type of porcelain. Nice little thing. Okay, we put it in the newsletter because I like it. My personal preferences, I guess, sometimes take over. And then there was this piece of red glaze with this Lang Yao piece. This was a nice thing. The seller that had this stuff up, he had all kinds of things up, and he wasn't that accurate on dating, if he bothered dating them at all. There was a nice screen, but he also had a pair of Mei Ping vases that were in Femme Vert that were actually quite new, and he thought they might be Kangxi. But he had this, and this has a Qianlong mark on the bottom, Ormolu mounts, late 19th century mounts. But this was a period thing. This was that I think that mark was spot on. This bluish glaze, very typical of Qianlong pieces, and beautifully done. Here's a shot of the neck. where you can really see the craquelure and the red. And here's a shot of the interior of the mouth. All this around here, it looked awfully good to me. And there's a picture of it with these applied swags, and it did pretty well. It brought $11,655. Not a big surprise. That was a nice thing. I hope the buyer, whoever it is, pays for it. All right, and then on to this. This was Qing period had a bunch of stuff up last week, as you know, and he always has good things. They sell nice objects, and this was a charger I thought was very nice, 48 centimeters. It's almost 19-inch plate, big charger, with a Chinese lady holding a child in a garden scene with blossoming flowers, and a very tightly decorated outer border, and a nice cavetto with these arrow devices going around it. Beautiful looking plate, and it did very well. It brought $3,827. All right, but plates of this size are quite rare. 48 centimeters is a very big plate. All right, and then he had this up, and this was interesting. This was done in the transitional style. It was a 19th century jar with dragons on it, and he had another transitional jar that was in here, and it didn't sell, and it actually brought more, but it didn't sell. But this one was transitional style. But made clearly in the 19th century, and you can tell by the way the dragon is drawn, and it's just a bit too manufactured looking. It doesn't have the fluidity of the earlier pieces in the drawing, and it brought $4,150, which I found a little bit surprising. It was good size, but it wasn't enormous. It was just a little over 12 inches, about 13 inches tall. All right. And then on to this. This was a Kangxi piece that Qing period had up. Very nicely done. Beautiful looking example. Nice, very nice, deep, dark cobalt blue. Really that really warm sapphire blue. And it did very well. It brought $2,175. It wasn't in a big vase. This vase was only about probably 8 inches tall. Okay, but very nice quality. And someone had this, I can't remember who the seller is, I'll find out in a second, but a very nice piece of famille rose decorated yixing. And this is the pot form is 18th century. I think this may be a 19th century pot, but really good quality decoration. So it could be early 19th century, could be a little older, but excellent quality. And it did just fine. It brought $1,588. Okay. Oh, this is that seller in California, GGYY2U. I don't know what all that means, but at any rate. And then there was this nice grisaille decoration, a plate of Jesus. It's a religious Christian export plate made in the Qianlong period, but nice quality. And the grisaille decoration was all in very good shape, and all the gilding appeared to be in quite good shape. Often you see these, and the gilding is just remnants of it over the years because people clean them improperly and knock the gilding off, especially with ammonia. Ammonia will strip gilding like crazy off of porcelain. So don't never use it. But this was a very attractive, highly desirable type of export plate. And I think somebody got a very nice buy on it. It had some restoration, but they got it for $475, okay? That's not bad because this is a rare form of plate, very desirable. And then there was this. This was something we had over. I put it up on the message boards. At a glance, I couldn't think about what it was. And it was just a very nice looking piece of Vietnamese blue and white with these handles on. And this is an opium, like a water pipe. Basically, it's a bong. But the quality of decoration on this was really excellent. And we found a number of other examples, and they usually bring in the $400 to $500 range typically with the bronze mounts. But I think the decoration on this was very nice, and it was fully inscribed on the back. Many of these are, and these Vietnamese pieces, and it did quite well. It brought $725. Not bad. Okay, that was an interesting piece made in the 19th century. All right. And then there was this nice, probably late 19th century, sort of snowflake cleared, cut through, overglazed or under red Peking glass. Nice piece of Peking glass, brush pot form, water pot form, with these chimeras and animal devices and whatnot. But very nice quality. And here's a shot of the bottom. Nice old base on it. Good looking little thing. And I think this was a very good buy, $416. that was a nice purchase. Though this was a very finely done piece, and I think somebody got it very reasonably. I thought it would have brought 600 to 800. And then there were these two nice 19th century soapstone figures, probably mid 19th century. And you can see one of them has a double gourd with some red enamels or red pigment still showing in here, and standing on a rocky formation. Nice little figure, genuine thing, and went pretty reasonably. $466. That was right about where it was worth. What it was worth. I don't think anybody overpaid, and I don't think anybody underpaid. A nice thing. And then there was this Chinese Amari, probably Kangxi teapot. Nice looking example, good looking lid, well decorated, very typical, sort of a stock pattern, but a highly desirable type. Collectors always seem to have these. And it did okay. It brought $385. I've seen them bring more. Sometimes these bring $500 to $550. This one brought $385. So it was a reasonable purchase for someone. All right. And then on to this, the Ming jar. This was a very nice late Ming jar, probably Jiajing or Wanli period. Good deep cobalt blue, nicely potted. Had an old gold lacquer repair, as you can see, running around it right here. But and those don't bother me. I have a big, huge piece of Arita with a gold lacquer repair like that on it. I don't mind it a bit. But anyway, this is just a nice jar, and it didn't bring a huge amount, but it did pretty well. It brought $587. This was Egmont Horn had this. He gets nice things. He's a good dealer. And then he also had this. This only went for $159. Let me enlarge this for a second. There, nope. Go back. I'm messing this up here. Here we go. There it is. There it is. I wanted to show this. This is a very attractive. This is a very small vase, but the shaping of it was very nice, like a larger vase would appear. This vase was only 3 or 4 inches tall, but beautifully decorated with a picture of an immortal under a willow tree. And the shape of this little vase was just absolutely lovely. It was a nicely shaped pot. Here's a picture of the bottom with the Kangxi mark. I don't think it's Kangxi, but very nice quality. And somebody got this perfectly reasonably, $159. Not bad. Nice little vase for that. And that was also from Egmont Horn. And there was this Chinese, looks like a chair cover or a hanging of dragons, a nice piece of silk, 19th century, early to mid 19th century, judging by the colors. Nice use of salmon all through here and some silver metallic thread making up the dragons. And it did pretty well. It brought $1,081. Not bad at all. It was 14 by 41 inches. So it was a good-sized piece of silk. It'll hang nicely in somebody's house. And then there was this lot of plates. It's curious. They put them up this way. There are 8 plates. 18th century Qinlong. Nice looking with precious objects and flowers and so forth. Very pretty. A couple of them had nicks and whatnot. And the entire lot went for $694, or about $80 a plate. So that was a good buy. And someone, you could do a whole dining room wall with these things. Look at that. Just buy a bunch of hangers and put them up. On to the, this was a very nice inscribed bamboo formed pewter with Yixing liner teapot. 19th century one with jade handles and spout. And here's the interior. You can see there's a small crack on the liner here above the holes for the spout that hold the tea back from pouring out. Here's the picture of the lid. But this was a nice pot. And these Yixing line teapots seem to have come down in value. Back in 2012, 2013, a pot like this would have brought probably $3,000 to $4,000, and they're down to $1,000. I think what they found out was that more of them were made than maybe people realized, and they started turning up onto the market. And when the prices went way up, and I think the market got a little bit saturated with them. But this was a nice one. And then you had this dragon robe, this very nice 19th century, late Qing, but good quality, nice quality robe, ladies' robe. And let's see how that did. It brought $2,650. Pretty reasonable price for that. I've seen them bring more. I've seen them bring less too, but this was a nice one. So it was a good buy for the buyer, and it was a good deal for the seller. And then this was another piece that Qing period had up. Nice looking Chai Qing, maybe early Wanli plate with this nice flattened rim, shaped. You notice the rim is slightly shaped, sort of reminiscent of those earlier celadons from the Ming Dynasty when they had those barb rim plates. But nice quality with the geese. I love it when they put the geese in the middle of them. One standing, one swimming, and one ascending. And it brought $1,925. It was just a little over a foot wide. It was a good sized plate, and that's not a bad price for that. That was a pretty reasonable price. And then on to this very nice pair of Qing period also had these. These are unusual because of the red glazed chimeras climbing around the top. They were quite large and animated, and these beautiful condition of the gilding on this. If you look at these, you'll see that the gold on the ends of the dresses and the clothing is all in perfect condition, which is quite unusual for these because they often got worn down. Even the bands are complete, and the condition of these is really what carried it. And they were celadon ground, and they ended up going for over $4,000, just a little over $4,000. Which is quite a price for those. They were good size. They were 41 centimeters, but very nice quality. It's always about the quality. And then there was this jar, a nice jar done very much in the Yongchen style. I think they were a bit later, but beautiful quality, beautiful, nicely shaped, good-looking pot. Here's a picture of the bottom, an old foot. I don't think it's an early mid-18th century foot, but an old foot. Maybe early 19th century or so, maybe Jiaqing, Daquan, something like that. And this vase, this jar with the cover, brought $2,300. The cover did have a chip in it, but that didn't seem to impact it too much. And then there was this guglet, this nice 18th century, late 18th century export thing with this garlic neck and brown dress mouth on the top of it. Good deep color, nice color, and well painted. The willow trees are very curvilinear. They look like they're flowing in the wind, and it did pretty well. But it didn't bring the world. It brought $331. It's something to think about because you will come across these on eBay. Some people think that they're Ming or transitional period, and they have huge prices on them, $3,000. These are really worth in the $400 to $600 range typically. Some bring a lot less too. And then Qing period had this up. This was another one of my favorites on here. Was this very nice Yongchen plate, a big one, with the children in the garden being attended to by probably their mother. Just beautiful decorations, spring flowers, in very narrow border, so your eye is not drawn away from the central field, which is the most important. And this was a 37 centimeter plate, and it brought $5,002. These plates go up a lot in value once they get over a certain dimension. Now you know what that is. It's anything over 12 inches, basically. All right, and then on to things that are coming up that are closing this weekend. Let's see here. We'll start. Let me see here. There we go. Chamberlain Antiques has a big sale closing on Monday. There's about 180 lots. There's some nice things in there. That's the username Juice1499. And Josh has some nice things up that are closing Monday night. And then over here, I wanted to show a couple of things that we found. One of them is this. This is a Kangxi plate, and the seller just has it up as Chinese plate. It ends in a few days. A very unusual plate, beautifully done, has some minor chips to it. But if you like rare decorations on Kangxi plates, this is one of them. Here's a picture of the back of it. As you can see, it's got some bites on it, but a nice old foot on it. And here's some more of the decoration of these fish. I think this is a really nice plate, and it's up to about $300, which isn't too much, and a nice example. All right. And then over here, there's also this Kangxi teapot, wine pot. This is a beautiful little Kangxi pot because it's decorated more in the manner that you see on vases and jars, and they applied that sort of decoration onto a teapot, and a nice high dome top lid on it, and a beautifully shaped spout, very nicely done. This is a good pot. And there's a picture of the bottom, very nice smooth foot, and you see there's some pulling and whatnot in the glaze on the base. But that's a nice old pot, probably made around 1700 or so. Good example. It's up to $1,167. I think it's got a ways to go yet, a bit more. And last we're going to put on this week is this. This is we see these puzzle pots turn up fairly often in Femi June and whatnot. Well, here's one that's quite unusual with a dragon handle, dragon spout with immortals on it. It's a nice old one too. There's a picture of the bottom, 18th, early 19th century. Very nice quality. It's about 8 inches tall, as you can see by the ruler. And this is a sort of a rare one. And I think this might surprise people at the end, but it's beautifully done and has a molded base. Okay, so that's it. Check out the newsletter. It's coming out tonight on Friday night, as it always does. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And if you haven't subscribed to us here on YouTube, please do that too. And join us over at Bidamount.com anytime. Go to the forum, whatnot. All right. And if you're out there this weekend looking around, good luck, and I hope you find some things. All righty. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.